Hi, everyone. I'm Sunny.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Rox. And this is
Literature on the Rocks.
Book Club.
Book club.
Oh, book club. Book club.
Oh my God.
Can we talk about Jeff Hayes, baby?
Oh, yeah. I'm so excited.
As Donut. He's been casted as
Jeff
Donut
Hayes.
officially. Congratulations, Jeff Hayes. I don't know. I felt like this proud mom. I don't even know the guy, but I'm like, oh, our Jeff Hayes is, look at him just growing, and now he's a TV personality. Like,
He's a voice actor in a different medium now.
Yeah.
I was very excited.
He's basically famous,
Yeah.
and not to just book readers. Congratulations, Jeff Hayes. I'm very excited for this to come out.
Me
Like, when is it
too.
coming out?
We don't know. And you know it's going to be
Launch
good
date.
because Matt Dinniman is a co-executive producer. So
Yeah, he's going to be making sure he
his shit is done
keeps
right.
everything tight.
I can't wait.
Which they talked about it at Comic-Con.
Yes.
Oh, did they?
That's what, and he came out because they were like, we can't say anything, and he's like behind the
Yes.
curtain, like,
Bean Donut.
Yes.
Yes. And then my husband was like, he was looking at something else and he's like, oh, we missed Comic-Con again. And I was like, first of all, we've never gone. Second of all, if you want to go, let me know. I will fight the masses of the electronic waiting room and get us tickets.
Yeah.
It's like $200 for every day.
right.
Seriously?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
But I kind of want to go.
$200 a day or $200 to get into every day?
I don't know if that was aftermarket pricing, but when I looked it up last year to go, it was like 2 weeks before, people were selling tickets for like $186 per person a day.
I hear Comic-Con is super fun to go to.
I don't think it's actually that expensive.
That's what I'm
trade
saying.
Shows are like crazy expensive. Like when we go to not even anyone wants to go to it. It's a professional, whatever, real estate kind of a trade show. If you're a member, it's only like $700 to go.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so it's $200 for the whole thing to go every day, and as a
No, it was just per day.
Oh,
so if
but,
you
like,
wanted to go
how
for
many
the
days
full,
are Comic-Con? Is Comic-Con
it's 2 or 3 days.
okay?
So it would be $400, $600 if you're going the whole weekend.
Average for a trade show. I mean, I don't
But
want to.
it's not a trade show though. It's a comic convention.
Vendors, and there is like it's the same thing. It's just like trade shows are usually a part of a bigger convention.
See, because when I've gone to smaller ones. Like we went to an anime one, and it was like $70 for the whole weekend.
And it was it just like a trade show? Just the trade show
it was
part of
just
it?
like
yeah.
it was
So that's
like
what
that.
I mean.
But no, they had like little, kind of like when we went to the LA Book Festival. Like they had
like panels and things.
yeah.
and-
But those were included in your tickets. They weren't an
Okay, yeah.
additional fee.
yeah.
Well, the International Pizza Expo in Vegas is gigantic, and
Yeah.
the prices per day are the same as the Comic-Con tickets.
Oh,
170 a piece.
that's wild. Pizza convention?
It's a gigantic convention, and
Yeah.
it's so crazy how many people want to go to it. But yeah, it's like $170 to get into it.
Maybe I'm just not well versed in the costs of going to these things.
I mean, I've never been to one, so I didn't know
either.
how expensive the
Like,
Comic-Con
I feel
tickets
like,
were.
I guess I don't think in the grand scheme of things those tickets sound expensive, but also like I don't want to pay $600 to go to Comic-Con every day.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So like I guess for me personally to go, I don't know if I want to spend that much on it. It's probably it's too expensive. But for a trade show, I feel like it's about
It's
a
about
little
in
bit-
line.
Yeah.
And I guess if you're like super into like the comic books and the whole thing, it's like your version of Disneyland.
Yes.
But then
You know,
it's
so the cost
gotten
is
more
about the
than that
same.
now, which is why I kind of want to go, because now they're having like books that are
Yeah.
more well known are now having stages. Like Marvel comes out,
Yeah.
and then Marvel's not doing it as a comic book; they're doing it as like the movies that's coming out. And
Yeah.
so it's becoming a little bit more than just comic books, which is
Yeah.
why I think I want to go.
I mean, it sounds fun. I've never been, but everybody that I do know that has gone has just like raved about how
Yeah.
good time they had.
I don't even know if I'd want to go every day. When we go to LA Book Fest, like I don't care to go every day, and that's free.
It's free to
They
walk
have
in,
like
yeah.
different panels and different things happening each day, right? So that's the advantage of going daily.
Yeah, so I guess
you
just
have something
looking
on all
at
the
the,
days that you wanna go.
schedule and seeing what day you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me know how it is when you guys go.
Okay. well,
Next year.
Yeah.
Anyways, congratulations, Jeff Hayes. We're so proud of you here at Literature on the Rocks. Should we get into this book club?
Get into it.
Show
Let's get into
can.
it.
Should I start up with our ratings
Oh,
from
yes.
last week?
Yes,
Please
please.
Because I already forgot what they were.
Well, let me remind
I
you.
remember.
I do too.
Oh, we're also like book clubbing Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney.
yes.
Just in case you needed a reminder.
Yes, we are. So last week, we all rated it a 3.
A 3.
Oh Lord, here it comes. It's coming this week. She's got to marinate a little bit more.
Yeah, I just didn't remember I gave it such a rave review.
Oh,
but all
shit.
right.
Okay.
Okay, so every book club we have the same 4 questions are our first questions that we ask. They're typically general questions. And then the last few questions are always specific to the book. So our first question is first impressions. What were your initial thoughts when you started reading Rock, Paper, Scissors? Did the book meet your expectations or surprise you? I said I was really excited about this book. When we started looking into new books to add to the TBR, I knew I wanted a good thriller with a twist. After doing a bunch of research, it came down to reading this one or one other, and I finally landed on this one and immediately couldn't wait to read it. Every time I start to build up a book in my head and then start to read it, I always get nervous it's going to let me down, so I try to tamper my expectations. This one didn't need to be tampered though. I didn't see the twist coming at all, no matter what angle I was looking at the book, and I love when a twist surprises me. This one met the buildup. I was really trying to figure it out because I knew there was going to be one.
Yes.
And who knew there was so many?
Yeah, right?
Seriously.
So I said I've been scoping out Alice Feeney for a little while, and some of her other books are on my personal TBR, so I was excited to see her on our pod TBR for this year. And like we talked about last week, I had whiplash going through this book, and I love every minute of it.
I thought this book was going to be spooky for some reason, and it ended up not being that at all. But it did have enough eerie atmosphere that it hooked me pretty early on. The twists also just completely caught me off guard, which doesn't always happen, so I do appreciate that. Overall, I was really happy with it. It definitely lived up to the hype for me.
Yeah.
I will say I really like to figure out a twist, and then I'm like irritated while I'm reading, like, if this is what this is.
I can hear you guys talking to yourselves in the car
Yeah.
too, going like, if this happens,
Yeah.
I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah,
Same.
like if I already figured this out from fucking chapter 2, I'm livid. And not
Yes.
this book. No, sir.
I didn't even
no.
land on a thing that I thought, like, this is for sure it. I never got to a place where I was like, if it's this, I'm going to be angry. But I was like, well, maybe it's this. It must be this. Oh, is it going to be this? I think they're going to kill each other. I think that, right? Like,
I thought they were
Yes.
always trying to kill each other.
Yes.
I thought Robin was the mom. I thought Amelia was writing all of the fucking letters. So none of it. I
None of
guessed
it.
none.
Yeah.
I thought she was fucking Henry Winter. That wasn't the case. That's Daddy.
so daddy.
I couldn't guess a single one. All of my guesses were wrong.
With Henry Winter, but that's funny.
Unresolved questions. Were there any plot points or character arcs that you felt were left unresolved or could have been explored further? I thought the piece of the investigator was a little half-hearted. I understood the purpose of it to connect all the pieces and give the reader the sense that their murder might not be unnoticed. But also, they left a fucking chopped off finger on top of an unmarked grave. So, like, come on, guys. That's all.
This is true. Maybe I missed something, but I still have some questions about the second wife, Amelia. So was her entire motivation to play this long game just to find out whether Adam remembered that she had been involved in his mother's death? If so, that was an incredibly elaborate plan.
Or to
What a
keep him
stupid
from...
woman.
Yes! Like, was that her whole motivation?
Why did you come back into his life? I think
To keep him from remembering, maybe? That's
I
why she
don't
wrote it
know.
all down?
I felt like they had this like fling back in the day. And
As teenagers.
and
Yeah,
she
but
loved,
he didn't
like,
even
she really was
remember.
like, this is the man that I love. And so she,
So then she
Oh,
came
see?
into his wife's life, became her bestie.
I think she was obsessive. I think she was like,
See,
a
that's
stalker.
what I'm curious about. Like,
Yeah.
how did this even get to this point? Like,
I felt like when they were telling the story, it was like, oh, she's a stalker who's now inserted herself into his life.
oh, see, I thought it was more just like the long game to make sure he didn't remember that she was a part of that thing.
I did. Okay, so I agree
But
with
also,
that. But I thought that
he killed his mom. So why is she worried about it?
That's why I'm also curious. Is like, you literally had nothing to do with it. Except for telling him to get out and drove away.
Like, except for being an accomplice. Yeah.
So
yeah, so
curious.
stalker.
I think she was a stalker.
I'm curious
I think
about
she
her
was
motives.
like, it was a pivotal moment in her
Ooh,
young
that
life.
hot
where she
teenage
was
boy
like,
who murdered his mom. I want
oh
that
my
shit
God,
again.
I am
Psychopath.
Yeah, like I felt like she was already a little twisted, and then this happened, and she was like, "Oh my God,
Twisted harder, baby.
I love this man. There's no one who will
See?
ever compare." And
The
now I'm
adrenaline
watching
rush.
him, and I'm planning this whole thing, and
Oh,
I'm gonna
no,
look
see?
like his wife, and I'm gonna seduce him, and now
Alice, I need
You're mine
answers.
I do think she deserves a backstory.
Yeah, because I need to know.
Yes.
I said, so it's like, it was an elaborate plan. I just kept thinking there had to be an easier way to get that answer. Seriously. It all worked for the story, but I wouldn't have minded a little more insight to what was going through her head because I really just needed to know.
I wrote, did Robin kill her mom? I felt like the ending definitely opened up the question of if Robin was the problem growing up and not her dad. Did she just play the victim all the time and was actually the villain? Or was she truly a good person who had a crappy dad and a crappy husband?
I thought maybe mom died, or maybe she killed herself, but I didn't think Robin had anything to do with her mom's death. But I do think though that Robin, maybe because they said she found her mom in the bathtub. So maybe that trauma made her have all of these other thoughts, like my dad killed her and all, but those weren't necessarily the case. Like maybe she's just a traumatized little girl and
because didn't she
eats
write the
baby
book?
food now because she's infantilized with her trauma. I don't know.
But didn't she write the book about how she thought her dad killed her mom?
The baby food thing.
Yes, she wrote it as a homework assignment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got in trouble for it. So the part that only started to lead me to believe like, oh, something's up with Robin was the detective part. Because he was like talking about her past and how she wasn't on the straight and narrow and she had some things, some skeletons in her closet. And
right. And but who knows? Like Henry Winter could, because he was it almost felt like when he was talking to the investigator's interpretation is that he was just an exhausted dad who was trying to protect his daughter because she wasn't quite right.
Right. Yeah.
Why has everybody got all these jacked up traumas?
I guess there's a lot of unresolved questions about
Yeah.
every single character almost. Like,
Well, you got like just
Except for
enough?
Adam. Fuck Adam.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll talk about that.
yeah, right.
Okay,
Say,
great.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so alternate ending. If you could change one thing about the ending of Rock, Paper, Scissors, what would it be and why? So this is probably completely unnecessary, but if I had to change one thing, I wanted to know more about the private investigator because you talked about it.
Yeah.
He wasn't central to the story, but I found myself wondering, like, what was his experience? What was it like following everyone around, piecing everything together? We know he learned a lot about these people. He talked about like how he kind of knew a lot about them, but just how much did he know? I think getting one final glimpse into his perspective could have been a fun way to wrap everything up. Because you got a little bit of it, but like dig a little deeper into it. Maybe that would have been fun to like pull it all together.
Yeah.
I can get on board with that, but it's funny because here's my answer. I would have left the last bit out with the PI. The book had enough of the twist and closure that left me on a high, and then adding the bit with the PI came and he told a part of his story about Robin. I just didn't feel like it was needed. I rated it 3 shots, but I don't think that last chapter was something that like made the book better. I would have ended it sooner. So I hear what you're saying, like to hear the perspective or to hear the story, but I felt like just that little end clip was like, it was just unnecessary. We had all these different answers and now there was like this closure to the book. And then when you added this, it was like, oh my gosh, this has opened it up to so many other things and what's happening and what does he know and what.
And we know you hate an open-ended book.
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah.
So like, just take out that chapter and I'm happy.
Or give us more and wrap it all up in a pretty little bow because
Yeah.
I feel like he probably knew a lot about Amelia too.
Right.
And they didn't talk about it. They really focused on Robin.
The PI, I mean, we do hear a little bit about what the PI knew about Amelia because he's the one that found out that she killed.
Or she was in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like he knew so much, but he only gave us like little snippets of what he knew.
Yeah.
I also have just a quick note on the on the investigator. It just felt weird that he would have gotten so spooked, like to have been following these people for Henry Winter for at least 15 years because they were together a little, like Adam and Robin were together a little bit before they got married, and that's when Henry Winter started following them. It feels odd that he just would have heard his name whispered in the darkness and been like, I'm out.
I would have been,
I
I'm
would've
out. I do not need to know who called me. I will see you later.
A dead person's finger sitting here. My name's being whispered. Yeah, I could do some PI work from somewhere else.
You know, I think this case is closed and I'm on my way.
But also, I think the tales of the witches were just to spook people traveling and enhance the lore of the chapel. But it would have been cool to have a little bit more paranormal elements in there. I don't know how or where, just saying.
And that's where I thought the direction we were going initially, right? So I was like, ooh, it's kind of a spooky book.
Yeah.
Like, I like it. And then
We'll
you're
lean
into
into
it.
it.
You're like, it's not spooky at all.
But then you're
It's
like,
good,
what?
but not
What?
spooky.
They're like, yeah.
What?
Pow, pow, pow. All the
You're like,
twists.
You forgot about the witches.
Oh yeah, which was also not necessary, but it worked for the story.
Yeah.
So next question is adaptation dreams. If rock, paper, scissors were to be adapted into a movie or TV series, who would you cast in the main roles? I did Amelia, Robin, Adam, and Henry Winters.
Oh, I didn't do Henry. I just did Amelia, Adam, and Robin.
I did the same 4. I included Henry Winter.
For Adam, I did Penn Badgley.
Oh, I don't need to look him up. Okay. All right.
I like Penn Badgley. I did Tom Hiddleston.
Tom.
Loki.
He's Loki. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who did you pick?
I picked Dan Stevens.
Oh.
Oh, man. These are 3, I think, really good options.
Yeah.
I'm kind of struggling with all of them.
I agree. Yeah, I don't dislike any of them, I don't think.
Do we ask Cliff to pick for us? We've never done that
Ooh,
before.
that might be fun. He could be our tiebreaker.
Okay.
Come on, Cliff. Tell us what we need.
If I'm casting Adam Wright, the emotional distant screenwriter with face blindness, buried guilt, and just enough charm to make you understand why people keep forgiving him, I'm picking Dan Stevens.
Wow. All right, Cliff.
All right, Amelia. Let's do Amelia next.
Alrighty.
Emma Mackey. But I feel like...
Okay. I did Kate Winslet.
I did Rebecca Ferguson. I feel like casting out Kate.
Okay, can I make a suggestion? Before you pick someone, maybe we do the next one because...
Oh, to see who the sis
yeah.
or who the, yes, okay.
Right?
Okay.
And then we can pick them as a pair. Or,
We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We can pick
Sold
okay.
on that idea.
Okay. For Robin, I cast Margot Robbie.
Oh shit.
Because they're supposed to be able to kind of look alike, and if he sleeps with her and his excuse is, oh, it's because face blindness, she looks like you. And
See, I thought
I just stick my dick in it and it felt the same, so I was like, wow, this must be my wife.
I was thinking like we could make haircuts similar.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Because he can't recognize the face. But I picked Emily Blunt.
I did Ruth Wilson.
The 2 for Amelia were Emma Mackey and Rebecca Ferguson.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the 3 options are Ruth Wilson, Margot Robbie, and
Emily
Blunt. First of all, how they're going to do this, because I think it is becoming a TV series.
Oh shit.
So how they're going to really reveal these plot twists is how are they going to do it?
Like maybe it's just going to be someone. Oh, but then you'd have to voice over, and then it's like the voice of that actor.
But like
No,
for
the voices might
Bridgerton,
have to
the voice
sound
was
the same.
totally different when they were
Yes.
doing the letters, right? So it could be just a different voice.
Oh, just a third person
Yes.
voice.
Yeah, in Bridgerton, you don't know who
Lady Featherington.
Yes.
So like you could just have like a narrator reading the letters, but like if it has to go back in time and you see her, that's why I was like, I want it to look very similar because it shouldn't be this like crazy switch. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
But I don't know. We'll see how they do it.
Yeah.
It's going to be one to watch.
Yeah. Do we dislike any Margot Robbie, Ruth Wilson, or Emily Blunt? Do
I'm
we dislike
sorry.
any
I
of
don't
those?
like Ruth Wilson. I can't unsee the person
Pull her
that she
out,
looks
pull her
like
out.
for me.
Okay. So now Margot Robbie or Emily Blunt
Okay.
and Rebecca Ferguson or Emma Mackey. Which, yeah, I feel like actually
I
those could
kind of
work.
like Rebecca Ferguson and Emily Blunt together. I do like I feel like Margot Robbie has to go with Emma Mackey.
I like Emma Mackey as Amelia just in general because I feel like she's a little
Kooky.
yes.
All right, so
But it's my
Emma
own, obviously. I
Mackey.
don't have to.
And
It doesn't matter what their face looks like because he can't see it. So it's all just like they'd have the same haircut eventually.
And maybe
body
that's what it
type.
is it's from his point of view when they record. The past is his.
and a body, and they
and you
will look
can't
the
hear
same.
fucking voices, but you know which stair creeps. Go fuck yourself,
Yeah,
Adam.
That's actually a good point.
Okay.
Maybe she changed her voice. All right.
I wish she would.
Okay. All right. Emily Blunt and Emma Mackey? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. For Henry Winters, I did Charles Dance.
Okay.
Frankenstein,
So
Been writing forever.
Dracula,
When
Game
they-
of Thrones.
when they were describing him, I thought of what's that new show on Netflix that you told us to watch, and it was like Hotel something.
Oh, 4 seasons.
Yes, 4 seasons. I was thinking of Steve Carell in that, where it's a little bit more serious, but he's got like the grace, kind of
like Steve Carell now, like a little bit older. Which, can I just say, Steve Carell is aging like a fine wine.
Yeah.
Yes, he
Because,
is.
like,
I am like, wow,
who is this
Steve.
much more handsome man?
Yes.
Yeah,
Like when
I
he was
agree.
younger, mediocre. Now that he's an older man.
When he first started doing Office and he had like no hair and then he got his hair done, that was already a glow up. But now he's really blown up.
It is
with his glasses.
So unfair how men get better looking as they get older.
Right?
Like, it is just...
I plan on doing this.
Not God's work. I can't give that to him.
Okay. Well,
Henry Winter versus grandfather Henry Winter.
But here's what the deal. I thought he died earlier than he should have. So if she was in her late 30s, early 40s, I imagined him to be in his late 60s, early 70s, and Steve Carell is in his mid 60s, I think.
Early 60s.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So we're thinking
two very different versions of Henry. I thought he was an older man.
Yeah.
And
so however you saw him,
house.
that's what you get to pick.
I don't know that I pictured him really. I just love Steve Carell, but I don't know that he was young when he died. I think he was like an older man because he died like recently in the story, like within the last
3 years. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Grandpa. What was his name?
Charles Dance.
Charles
Grandpa
Danson.
Charles. Our ice drop is Amelia is Emma Mackey, Robin is Emily Blunt, Adam is Dan Stevens, and Henry Winters is Charles Dance.
So the empathy question. Understanding Adam's prosopagnosia gave us insight into challenges that weren't immediately obvious. How much did Adam's condition influence your opinion of him? Do you think you gave him more grace because of it, or did you judge him the same as any other character? I gave Adam 0 grace. I thought he was plotting a murder from chapter 2.
Yeah,
and then at the end to find out he murdered his mom. Good God. He should have known after that first touch that Amelia wasn't his wife.
Yes.
Cheating douche. Also, they noted that he and Amelia both cheated during their marriage with fucking who? Amelia didn't seem like she was completely checked out or had any desire to be with anybody else, and October was already dead. So who the fuck else were they cheating on each other with?
Well, no, they never said that they cheated on each other. They said that they had, like, they insinuated that both of them had slept with someone while they were married or whatever. But it was like he slept with her while he was married to her, and she slept with him while her friend was married, right? Like, I don't think it ever was like we cheated on each other. It was like we slept with someone we shouldn't have.
Because I thought it said something like we both cheated in our marriage. Oh, which I guess yes. But I took it like they cheated on each other. I see where we are now. But anyway, 0 fucks for Adam.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, the passion in that is going to be very angry towards the passion in mine.
Oh, no.
Because listen, Linda.
Linda, I refuse.
Listen, Linda. Go. So, here we go.
This is such a hot take already.
I know.
All right.
So,
how dare you?
The more I think about it, honestly, the more I think about it, I don't know that Adam was the character I spent time judging or giving grace to at all. Like, there wasn't one or the other. He almost felt like a pawn in everyone else's story. His condition, wasn't really what made me focus on him. It's what made the plot possible. If Adam hadn't recognized faces, the entire story probably would have fallen apart. If it wasn't for that prosopagnosia.
That's true.
Most of my attention was on Amelia and Robin, which I didn't know was one or the other. Eventually, both wives, once everything started coming together. Adam's disease was an important piece of the puzzle, but Adam himself wasn't really the character I found myself analyzing. Is that really that crazy?
Yeah, because he would have recognized Henry Winter and like approached him and done all the things.
He would have known who killed his mom. Who was there.
He would have known he killed his mom.
But he was there.
He killed his mom.
None of this would have.
Right.
There would literally be no book without that.
That's true. I thought you were going to go like you were excusing him for his fucked up shenanigans.
No.
So I apologize for being preliminary irritated with you. But you're not wrong. But I still thought he was some part of the story. But yes, without his prosopagnosia, there would be
nothing.
It would be different. There wouldn't have been this like, oh, I didn't. Who's that in that picture? That's not you. Why is our wedding picture here? I didn't know
that you weren't my wife, or
I didn't know who Henry Winter really was, or I didn't see him in all of these events that I went to.
Or I couldn't have identified a person in this car because I didn't know who it was. Like, none of that is possible.
But you weren't thinking like, what a douche.
I mean, yeah, but like all the books we have some douchebag, so I'm just kind of like
immune
to it now.
You're like, yeah, another douche.
Let me get to the core of what this book is about, because everybody's
him.
cheating in all the books.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I originally struggled with this a little bit. My first reaction to him in bed with another woman immediately made me infuriated. Like, what a dick. But then remembering he had the prosopagnosia when he said he thought Amelia was Robin made me start to feel a little bad for him. Like maybe he just made this horrible mistake. But then he married Amelia and chose to stay with her instead of immediately running out of bed, kicking her out of the house, and begging Robin for forgiveness. So while it made me pause, I didn't believe that he made a mistake for long. He was an asshole who knew what he was doing.
Yep. Show enough.
Like for sure his following actions would have defined if he was being honest about that, if it was really
Or
a
if
part
he
of
like
it.
really felt bad, right? He'd been like,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Like that
Like,
was
oh my
not
God, I
supposed
can't
to
believe
happen.
I slept with her. What a horrible man I am.
Also, I have not
Grovel,
been
grovel,
inside
grovel.
multiple vaginas, so I don't know if they all feel the same or not.
But I feel like
I'm kidding.
I feel like
that is even a thing, okay?
but even like the kiss, you would know.
I wasn't taking you fully. I'm like, let me think about that.
What do they all feel
That's what
like?
I mean. Is like it's not so much what her vagina felt like,
But
I
the
do
kiss,
feel like
the smell about
Yes.
her.
the
Yes.
moves you're doing.
To your point, like you can identify a step in a house that you've never been in that squeaks louder than the rest, but
Yes.
you can't tell your wife smells different and moves different. And
I didn't like
her
smells different.
skin-
Can we start with a different thing?
Not even that. I meant like just in general,
Yeah,
like
no, I
your
know what you mean. Yeah.
endorphins.
I wasn't
smell
talking
different.
about the smell of her vag.
Yes, I was just talking about
Pinocha.
her armpits smell different. Like,
But I
all
mean,
of
like
it.
you know, like you have
Yes.
the pheromones are different.
Yeah, there we
Are you
go.
agreement with that word? We won't say
Pheromones.
scent.
Yes. Yeah. We definitely needed an additional word to she smells different.
Her pheromones were clearly different.
Yes, all of that.
Science.
Like
Yes.
you can't tell me
No.
somebody who didn't recognize faces and have superhuman rest of your
Yeah.
sense.
Or how she reacts to the touch, like you touching her.
Yeah,
We
That would
also
be
talked
different.
about him being able to recognize people's walks, and we talked
Yes.
about that last. Like, if you could pay that much attention to someone and recognize them by the way that they move their body,
yes.
then for sure you freaking knew who you were sticking a dick in. You freaking liar.
Yeah. Yeah. You can
Yes.
see them titties.
You know what?
Sure enough.
Show do. Show do.
Sure enough. The titties don't lie. It's the snowflake of the body, really.
Okay. The masks we wear. Throughout Rock, Paper, Scissors, nearly every character hides a part of themselves, whether it's a secret, a fear, or a version of the truth. Do you think everyone wears different versions of themselves depending on who they're with? Which version of you feels the most authentic? I said, absolutely. I think everyone has different versions of themselves depending on who they're with, where they are, what they're doing, and even what they're experienced in life has kind of impacts that as well. I don't think that necessarily makes someone fake. It just means that they're aware of their environment. For me, the people closest to me get the most authentic version of me and who I am. It's not that I'm a completely different person with everyone else, but there are thoughts, emotions, and parts of myself that I naturally reserve for people I trust. I don't think that's about being deceptive or trying to be liked. It's about knowing that not every thought or feeling needs to be shared with every person. So at the end of the day, I think my reactions and decisions are authentic to whatever moment I'm in. Different doesn't always mean inauthentic. It just means different parts of you show up in different spaces.
Agreed.
Yep, basically same thing. Depending on who I'm around, I definitely have different parts of my character that I let out. I don't think that I'm necessarily hiding parts of myself. There are just instances when different pieces are comfortable showing. Like I'm not going to bring out my smut-loving potty mouth side in the middle of a meeting with clients. There are parts of me that have a time and a place to show up.
Yeah.
However, I do think that the most authentic version of myself does show up with people in my life that I love and trust the most. My safe spot people, if you will. With my husband, with my mom, with my two besties. It might not be all the time, every time I'm with them, but every time I've ever felt most authentically me, it's been with them. My husband has an amazing way of grounding me, of seeing my flaws and letting me feel my feels without judging and bringing me back to myself if I start to fly off. He reminds me of who I am. My friends allow me to be weird and wild and love me all anyways, without judgment, most of the time. My mom, I would say, loves me the most unconditionally with only the slightest bits of judgment if she doesn't agree with something. I am blessed to be truly loved by many, but it doesn't mean I am always truly authentically myself. I think it takes a lot of vulnerability sometimes to be truly authentically yourself, and it's not always easy. I hope that everyone has someone they can occasionally be their most authentic self with, though.
Third time's the charm. So I said, absolutely. I was contemplating this the other day because there are times that I want to go 0 to 100 and be a ghetto queen. Just absolutely rage on someone. Do I act on that? No. Could I? Absolutely. But to keep it short, I think when I'm with my friends or my immediate family, I am my true authentic self. Everyone else gets a compartmentalized version of me.
Okay, so the stories we tell ourselves. At one point during this book, you realize the whole story wasn't what you thought it was, and your entire perspective changes. Have you ever realized the story you were telling yourself about a person or situation wasn't the full picture? What helped you see it differently? Okay. Oh man, I'm realizing more and more as I get older that I tend to look at the world with rose-colored glasses. And when something happens that rips those glasses off, I'm always shocked at how ugly things are. And then I often fight to put those glasses back on immediately. Most of the time, in order to see it, it has to be shoved in my face. I recently had an experience where my childhood came peering up through an argument I had with my parents. Those rose-colored glasses that often cause me to see my childhood as pretty good flew off, and I realized there were a lot of feelings in my childhood that were not great, feelings of inadequacy mostly. The asking questions was often forbidden, and if I dared to ask, then I was frequently told I was stupid. Now, don't get me wrong, my childhood was filled with great times and happy memories, and my parents have grown significantly, making those bad times even more distant in my memory. When the argument happened, it was like ripping down the veil and feeling all those feelings from when I was younger come rushing back. What came out of it, though, was realizing how crappy it made me feel and understanding that I've worked through a lot of all of that to the point where I know my questions do not make me stupid. They actually make me curious and help me learn things a lot of people don't stop to ask. I look things up if I don't think they sound correct, not because I don't trust you, but because I want the details from a reliable source. I ask why, not to challenge you, but because I want to know the logic. I also have grown enough to understand that this can be frustrating about me, but I am unapologetic about it. Not because I'm stubborn or know-it-all, but because I have accepted that this is truly a large piece of who I am. Not just a throwaway thing about me, but a piece of me that I now love as an adult. I love discovering new things and finding solutions and pulling apart, making all the parts of the way things work fit perfectly back together and make sense in my brain. And what's really crazy is I've created a kid that is the exact same way, who asks why and challenges reasoning, who can't stand the answer because I said so. And what is amazing about it is not that my parents can say, now you get a taste of your own medicine, but rather that I get a chance to be the person on the other side, understanding where these questions are coming from and answering them in a way that I would have appreciated growing up, or understand the anxiety that comes from the feeling of inadequacy and unable to figure out something. I've learned how to cope with those feelings, and now I get to be patient with my kid and understand where he is coming from and try to help him get through it with the lessons that I've learned from dealing with the exact same thing. Granted, I am not perfect, and there are times that I lose my patience, but I remind myself that I so understand where he's coming from, and I need to teach him how to cope the same way I do now and equip him with the steps I've learned along the way. This answer really took a turn, but sometimes these book club questions get me going in a direction and my answers turn into a journal entry, and I learn a lot about myself, and this was clearly one of those. Actually, what was the question again?
I wrote, this is a soul-searching question right here. I think as I've grown and developed as a functioning adult, self-reflection is a huge part of that. And I try to do this when someone acts out uncharacteristically. Now, I will say, if a person has been an asshole since day one, and all interactions mirror that, I do not give them this root cause analysis. I chalk them up to being an asshole, and I let that be my expectation of them.
Yeah, Adam.
Yeah. I find that I do this frequently with myself, or I try to anyways. I don't always. But when my kid's being loud, and just a loud kid thing, and I have to figure out, step back and be like, why is this pissing me off so much? What about this is irritating me? Yeah. And I have to check myself because they're just being kids, and I need to figure out why it bugs me so much.
Yeah.
I was just reflecting on Sunny's talking about the rose-colored glasses, and I'm like, my husband tells me all the time, you just see such beautiful world. You're so innocent and so sweet. And I'm like, I'm not innocent, but I just want to see the good things, right? And he's like, there's so many bad things in the world. And I'm like, well, that's why you balance me. Yeah. And we were on our way to dinner yesterday, and I was walking. I had my daughter in my arms, and he was with me, and I was moving, right? I was walking fast. And he's like, why are you walking so fast? And I was like, oh, because usually when I'm alone, I do not lollygag. I go from point A to point B because I don't have time to be walking slow and getting kidnapped with my kid in my arms. And he's like, well, you're not alone. Slow down. I was like, oh, see, I don't always look at the good things in the world.
Yeah.
I know that I need to get my ass out of this parking garage. But to the question, honestly, this has happened to me several times throughout my life. I think what has helped the most is simply getting older. Age, experience, maturity, and learning that there's almost always another side to the story have changed the way I approach situations. For the smaller misunderstandings, it's usually as simple as listening to the other person's perspective. For the bigger life situations, though, it's more complicated. Sometimes understanding the full picture brings peace, and sometimes it actually makes things harder because now you're carrying information you didn't have before, and it's hurtful. So I guess that's just part of life. The older I get, the less confident I am that I know the whole story, and that's probably made me slower to judge people than I was when I was younger. Generalization.
And there's really a lot of stories that I probably could have come up with for
Oh my
that
God,
last
yes.
question.
Yeah, it's happened more times.
Oh my God, so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're only thinking of yourself most of the time. Like if you get into a situation and you don't necessarily intimately know them, or sometimes you even do, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you today? And you're like, they're just being a dick today. And then you realize like, oh, their grandma died last night and they came to work anyway and they couldn't pay their mortgage. You know, there's always, I get it. Everybody has something going on in life.
Absolutely.
I do think being like a manager of people, or even just in relationships, and like I feel like you start to learn, I probably need to step back and look at a bigger picture than just this little moment. It's funny, when I worked at a different company before this job, everyone was so negative. And I remember thinking like, I need like motivational Monday. And every Monday I would write a motivational quote on the board. And one that stood out, and I wanted to write it like every week, was it a bad day, or was it a bad 5 minutes that you milked all day?
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like we can get so caught up in that. And I think as a manager, I think about that for my team. Like, you're not actually having a bad day. You're having a bad 5 minutes, and I'm just going to let you have the bad day because you're choosing that, but you don't have to. It was a bad 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've had to tell myself or my people, take the tone and the energy out of it and just hear the words themselves. And it's not personal, right?
Yeah.
Because so many times people are like, did you see the email that so-and-so sent? I'm like, yeah, if you just read it without any energy, it's really pretty direct, and that's what we needed, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So what about our ratings? Are we changing them?
Yeah.
It's my pick, so I'll say start. I'm not changing it. I'm keeping the 3.
Samesies.
Yeah, I'm keeping it.
Yeah, you trickster.
You trickster.
You trickster.
All right, well, that's a wrap on this episode of Literature on the Rocks. We dissected every lie, every clue, and every twist in rock, paper, scissors, only to discover the biggest reveal was hiding in plain sight all along. Next week, we're diving into Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis. So grab your lab coats and your cocktail shakers and make sure you're subscribed, because we're here for you every Wednesday.
Yes. If this episode made you question first impressions, wonder how well we ever really know the people we love, or reminded you that every story has more than one side, go ahead and rate and review the podcast. It helps us keep uncovering books that surprise us, challenge our assumptions, and keep us guessing until the very end.
Yes.
They say honesty is the best policy. Rock, paper, scissors respectfully disagrees. Thanks for diving into this twisty thriller with us. Follow @Lit on the Rocks Pod on Instagram and TikTok, and visit literatureontherocks.com.
Until next time, may you always spot the twist one page too late and raise a glass to authors who keep us guessing. Cheers.
Toodaloo.
Bye.